Hi, welcome to the Wishipu Oil Painting Village. It's one of the most interesting places in all of Xiamen. There are hundreds of artists working here, and you can see many types of paintings. Some of them are even very good. But come on, you can have a look for yourself. At Wishipu, there are three main kinds of paintings: pleasant scenes, portraits of other people's families, and copies of famous paintings. Everybody paints really fast because there are a lot of orders and everything has to be handmade. The artists have to know all types of styles and tricks. They have to make an attractive portrait of your Nana. Everyone is really friendly when you walk around with a camera, and to watch them work is a real treat. If you can't make it to China, don't worry. You can still buy a painting on many fine websites. You can pick out the style you like, and even you can try it out in your cold, erotic living room. If you want to see the paintings from Wishipu, all you have to do is check into a fancy hotel or make a doctor's appointment. Any room without a window will have a painting for you to look at, but they usually don't get a lot of attention. A lot of people will criticize them and say, "That's not art, the artist just copied it." They will say the paintings are dishonest or boring. Then they will go back to reading their phone or a magazine. So now maybe you've been in Wishipu for a few hours and you notice things are starting to look different. You can't ignore these paintings being made right in front of your face. So in order to understand what is really going on, you ask one of the painters to tell you about it.
Oh. 那就是我一次看了那个韩国的一个连续剧嘛，然后里面看到，右上2楼的那个台阶，墙壁上挂了一幅黄高的那个咖啡馆，然后看了那个咖啡馆好像笔法上有点像我模仿他的画，没有，啊。 心里感觉就是说，是怎么搞的？我的模仿的作品能挂在这，他们的套房里面。那个时候看到的时候，我就我的这些学生啊，然后去说我们的模仿的作品能在 电视里面都能看得到的，没有了。
After you talk with the painter, you will probably be more confused. You will have weird questions. You think about math. If you take an original masterpiece and subtract a perfect copy, what is left? If you take an original masterpiece and subtract an imperfect copy from it, is whatever's left the thing that made the original painting great? And what if the copier changes things on purpose, or gets sloppy with a reproduction? If your job is to paint on canvas, can you really not be considered an artist? Wasn't Van Gogh a huge asshole anyways? I think he gave his ear to a prostitute. How identical are these copies really? Fine motor skills and the viscosity of oil paint must place a limit on how similar two paintings can be. But could they ever make a perfect copy? Will that day be the day that the asymptotic approach of humans towards machines is finally realized? Usually you will think about these things when you walk around Wishipu, but eventually you will get too hot. Why do you make this stuff such a big deal? It's really very hot here, so you will want to go into a museum and take a break. There's an exhibit called Living Van Gogh, and since you need to make a movie in just a few days, you should go to it. The exhibit is in a very big building. Inside, there are big animated projections of Van Gogh paintings and classical music. You feel pretty relaxed for a while, but then the questions come back. I mean, how can we call these Van Gogh paintings? They're not even made of paint. And why do these copies get to be in a museum? Why not put a bunch of copied oil paintings in a museum and then let kids jump all over them? I mean, why do we love digital images so much anyways? Why is Van Gogh getting all the credit for this? Didn't he try to marry his cousin? The gift shop is a lot of fun. So you are all confused, but it's getting late, so you go to the beach to walk around. Everybody here seems to be having a pretty relaxing time. And as the sun goes down, everyone around you starts taking selfies. What kind of images do people like anyway? Can a camera really preserve the way a moment feels? Why are the oil paintings held to such high standards of originality? Does copying an original ruin it, or does it spread what was good about it in the first place? But as you stare into a smiling man's eyes, you might start to understand. It's not that people don't like copies. Everybody loves to copy images. Even if they don't perfectly capture what they show, by not being unique, they are not too difficult to understand. We want images that are personal and relatable. We don't know how to appreciate complete originality. It's too hard. We want copies without originals. Just a bunch of ideas all stolen and chopped up and then produced 1,000 times and then photographed and then digitized and then shared 1,000,000 times again. So then, what are copies of paintings? But it's getting late, and you still have no idea what you are making this film about, so you should go back home and stop thinking about all this big stuff. The film is about paintings, right? So you'll take the number 20 bus and come back to Wishipu the next day to take another look at all the paintings. And in some way they are perfect, so modest. The artist spends hours trying to perfect the details in order to be erased from the image. The perfect copy will seem to be painted by a ghost. A copy of a Van Gogh is personal. It's yours to examine and touch and share. It's more real than a projection or a locked-up masterpiece. An imperfect copy whispers to you. Its imperfections are a private joke between you and the artist. Wishipu makes you think about China. How can a country with 1 billion people spread the art without copying it? Wishipu is democratizing the images that for years were reserved only for the few. A handmade copy of a painting has ridges and stroke marks. It reminds us of the importance of materiality in copies, a quality we so often disregard with digital images. At the same time, it is a copy ordered online and made to personal specifications. It links our past and future. It reminds us that images talk with and exist inside of each other. If you walk 2 blocks down the road from Wishipu, there is a huge mall that sells parts for electronics. It's pretty neat to walk around and see the electric guts on display. Each piece is fresh from the factory, a perfect replica of the thousands of pieces that preceded it. Despite the lack of handmade artistry, the electric butcher shop takes on a rustic charm. The collection is wonderfully arranged. Soon, we will all live inside of virtual reality, and we will love how malleable the fabric of space will be. Ownership and authorship will give way to infinite copies without originals. Time will fuck space, and both will grow old and die together.